Aberdeen Angus breed, marble beef. Эти видео отлично продают, на самом деле. То есть я вот выпустил 2 дня назад видео, и уже там было чуть-чуть показана заброшка советская. Там человек уже возбудился с козом в канате. У вас-то прям роскошь, там прям, ну там, бомба упала, да.
Так это же тоже все восстановлено.
Не, понятно, ну просто имеется в виду, у них там прям все, ну как в фильме ужасов, там сейчас кто-нибудь вылезет с рогами. So yeah, here we have marble beef, living and breathing. So this is a a small enterprise, has its own history. They had a decline when the milk industry was falling apart, and then the story of revival. So this is the first enterprise in the region that got themselves meat cattle and black Angus, all the good cattle, first for meat. Yeah, so they're kind of champions. In 2010, there were some Hereford cattle appeared in a neighboring district. So yeah, that's.
Где у нас проект-то? Не видно их, да?
А вот мы в поле-то их видели, они там.
Черный пятый, видите?
От двора там видно их что-нибудь.
The southern regions have a problem with pasture land availability, and there is no such problem here.
Да, здесь нагрузка на гектар, концентрация на гектар невысокая.
So not high concentration of cattle per hectare here, unlike in the south. So that's и с водой тоже проблем нет. Там же не с водой. There is no water issues, but in the south they do have. So if you do intensive cattle raising here, you can double the number of heads basically.
Но это требует просто дополнительных затрат, инвестиций.
More investment, more expenses on this, but yeah, it's. So the question was whether they have issues with hooves here. But the owners are saying that they call a specialized, group of people. And
это вы были на молочном или на мясном?
It's a widespread problem with dairy cattle, the hoof problem. If you don't treat them, yeah, it often happens.
Это болезнь именно молочного скота.
Yeah, so it's for cattle, not as much for meat.
The beef cattle in the United States, when you have low, wet ground, and they walk in a lot of mud and water, they tend to get more hoof infections.
Yeah, they happens here as well. Yeah, it's not really swampy here, unlike out in Kaluga. So yeah, they have a nice field, and so these are cornfields that belongs to the enterprise.
110 гектар засеяно кукурузой.
110 hectares with corn.
Дальше у нас там
Но
овес.
она местами хорошая, местами.
In places it's good, and in places it's not so good. And further on they have oats. So they have a higher density of. If there are early frosts, they would have to harvest it earlier. But usually they harvest this corn in mid-September. 100 hectares gives them about 1.5 thousand tons of.
Если заниматься
When did you plant that?
1 июня.
1st of June.
Is that normal planting time here?
Это нормальное посевное время, да?
Да.
Yeah.
Для кукурузы, да.
For corn it is.
Потому что
Beginning of June.
сначала идет сев зерновых культур, это овес, пшеница.
First they plant grains like wheat and oats. Потом ячмень и кукуруза, да?
Нет, ячмень мы не сеем.
They don't plant
Пшеницу и овес.
wheat and oats.
Ячмень требует более затрат.
Barley is more needs more
Особенно
expenses
сложных удобрений.
and specialized fertilizer. How many plants per hectare do you?
У нас 80 тысяч зерен на гектар.
80,000
То есть так
grains
называемая
per
одна
hectare.
посевная единица.
One planting unit, 80,000 grains per hectare. 80,000, yes.
8,000 or 80?
80. So we're going to take a look at the oats.
Куда хочешь везти сейчас? Довез. Довез и поехали до Садового.
Dude, we were at 75 today.
So a good thing about this, one of the owners saying, good thing about this spot, that there is a river running all through the, all through this territory. So there is enough water for cattle, and they have a like a place to get gravel as well. So this is an oat field, and
Данное поле
all together
30 гектар вот это поле.
they have 260 hectares of oats, and this particular field is 30 hectares.
Здесь смесь клевера.
Это подсев клевера.
Yeah, they got some clover in there.
They purposely put clover in.
То есть специально, да?
Покровная трава.
И, чтобы больше белков, да, или что?
Клевер, да.
Yeah,
Нет,
so
этот овес мы будем убирать на зерно.
yeah, the
И солома.
oats they're gonna harvest for grain and hay. Next year it's gonna be pure clover. So good. Is it, Ron, your system? You were mentioning that you use legumes for like
Cattle feed.
strengthening, yeah, cattle feed.
And this is a very common way to put the clover or the alfalfa in. You put it in with an oats crop.
Okay.
You cut the oats, harvest it, get it all off, and then next year the clover comes. Quite often they take clover for 2 years, and then they'll plow it down, and then it leaves a lot of nitrogen. Well, they'll take this crop off, harvest it, and then the next year the clover comes, and they mow that probably 2 times, I'm thinking.
Judd is doing his job. He's a pH, кислотность проверяет. These are acid soils.
6.5.
6,5. Нет, средняя. Средняя, да. В Калуге то же самое было приблизительно, да, 6,5, от 6
Калуга
до
у нас
7.
одинаковые. Там зерно подзолистое, здесь зерно подзолистое.
Да. Similar soils to Kaluga. Loam and ashy. I don't know the term, like ashy soils.
Milk state.
Just the price is different. The one thing that is different. Yes. The past 3 years, there is a tendency for younger people to choose the path of agriculture. So it's an up-and-coming occupation, and it's a conscious choice too. It's a good thing.
Кадровый голод.
Yeah, there is a personnel hunger, and the salaries are comparable to big cities. So yeah, it's an up-and-coming.
И отрасль со стабильным достаточно доходом.
And it's a stable industry too. So
И там что у нас еще?
so further on they have spring wheat. Yeah, зимой тоже. Да?
Там тоже и овес тоже там.
They
А зимой там.
they both have clover and spring wheat, and over there they have winter wheat too. So it's all like spread out. The fields are spread
200 с
out.
лишним километров. Вот такие
23
клевера.
kilometers away from here, Ron,
Метр 80.
they got clovers that high.
Потому что там чернозем.
Clover.
Clover?
Clover, 1 meter 80 centimeters high, because they got black earth there.
200
Земля
центнеров с гектара.
великолепная.
200 centers per hectare they gather, so 20 tons per hectare.
Is that, they chop it then?
А потом вы их рубите, да, или?
Да.
Yes. Yeah, make silage. Yes, they chop it and make.
How many harvests a year? 1 or 2?
Два урожая. Two harvests a year. Yes. You're saying that everything was going bankrupt here, was dying, and you bought they were clearing brush and forest. Everything was in decline in this enterprise. So yeah, they put in a lot of labor and effort to get it going. So this is the office of this farm. We have arrived, and they're gonna show us the goodness of the local Здравствуйте, здравствуйте, здравствуйте. Еще что я снимаю? Да, очень приятно.
Все снимать, все что угодно.
Yeah, the lady of the house allows us to film everything.
And here, you're welcome here, please.
All the beauty of this place. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my lord, look at this fine table laid out. And a lot of it is locally made.
Just one.
A lot. Ah, okay, okay. So this is the story of this enterprise.
Что-то было. В каком состоянии?
So there was a lot of abandoned.
Это вот хозяин бывший, что ли, да?
It's the new regional governor.
Бизнес Вьетнам.
First visit, the first business he visited was here. He was he still is a governor. He's actually going to be. There's going to be an election in like a month and a half. District head. Thanks to her, we're here. С красным волосами.
Да. Thanks to her hospitality.
Yeah, red-haired lady. Yeah, she's very hospitable, and she brought them here. She helped.
Это прежняя глава департамента сельского хозяйства, а теперь депутат областного законодательного собрания.
This gentleman on the left is a former head of the district. Mistress of the house. Yeah, she's
Foreigners love when they come. Not very often now.
Beautiful quality, just amazing.
Thank you.
Unbelievable. All of it is just.
Thank you very much.
Да. Yes. We tried the cakes. We tried this and that. It's amazing. Local cheese here in the middle with the berries on it. Cottage cheese.
Борис Сергеевич, Дим, а наполни еще раз молочком бокальчики, где опустили Monsovo agriculture.